Hello, family and friends. We're just going to get started real quick. My name is Rachel Ramash. I'm a friend of the Driscoll family. Carrie and I go pretty far back. Her brother Danny got sick, so I'll be reading the eulogy today. So we didn't want to have a sad day. We wanted to celebrate the 20 years that we were all blessed to know him. After this, we'll invite you all to share your Liam with us. Liam was born on December 23rd, 2004 at 10:45 p.m. My sister, Carrie Ann, had told doctors that if the baby hadn't been born by 11 p.m., they could just push him back in and try again on the 26th because she wasn't going to have a kid with a Christmas birthday on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I guess Liam heard her because he came out screaming into life with 15 minutes to spare. From that point forward, Liam made sure he was heard. Since most of you met Liam when he was older, we want to share some stories from his childhood. One of my mom's favorite stories involved little Liam and his inability to meet a stranger. Mom, Dad, and both boys were in a store, and Liam saw an old man on a bench. He promptly climbed into the dude's lap, put his hand out and said, "Hi, my name's Liam, but you can call me Steve." No one knew anyone named Steve. He was also very insistent. An average conversation went as such: "Mama, I want fruit snacks." "Sorry, Lemur, we don't have any." "You do now." Nope, lemur, still out. At this point, he put his hand on his hip and scowled. Go to your room and get your money and car keys. Then you drive to the store and go inside and buy more fruit snacks. Then you bring them home to me. Many impromptu store runs were made this way. Halloween was a fun family holiday to rival others. This began because we lost another child on Halloween, and it was tough to celebrate. In 2007, Jim dressed as Edward Scissorhands, Carrie Ann as the corpse bride, Chandler as Jack Skellington, and Liam was a spider. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool Tim Burton theme, but we couldn't find a costume small enough for Liam, but he didn't let that slow him down. We lived in Virginia Beach, and then they had a big decorating contest. A couple of blocks from us lived the master. He was dressed like the Grim Reaper. Next to him was a baby skeleton. Jim and I realized that he was in character. Liam did not. That yard was decorated like a cemetery, but Liam wasn't afraid. Yet he peeked over the edge of the cradle and looked at my sister like, what the heck? As he turned his head back toward the cradle, Death very softly said, hi. Liam was gone, half a block away by the time we started running after him. The guy felt awful. He was trying not to scare him. Liam came back and was given more candy than any others. The next year, he remembered the house and refused to approach. Chandler attended kindergarten and first grade in Virginia Beach, and the school had a cake decorating contest. To supply the cakewalk at the fall festival, Chandler truly decorated his cake with minimal help. He won both years. His first grade cake was the funniest story. They baked a sheet cake and were letting it cool as we made edible tombstones and dark frosting for the ground. They decided to sit outside for a moment. A couple of minutes later, Liam came out rubbing his hands together and said, hey Chandler, that cake is fantastic. Both Chandler and Carrie Ann looked panicked and ran inside. Luckily, Liam had only eaten a handful of the corner. To fix it, Carrie put a skeleton ring inside the corner to look like he was escaping from the grave. Chandler's friends loved it. Once they moved to Amarillo, they started making piñatas and having big Halloween parties for friends. They always had fun. In 2009, my sister took her family to Ireland, and Mom and Dad tagged along. Liam loved Ireland. He loved the swords on display. He loved the food, and mostly he danced to the music and stole Jameson whiskey when he could. My sister and Jim went to the Jameson's distillery, and we picked for a whiskey tasting. They gave the Scotch, Jack Daniels, and Jameson. They had a glass of water to cleanse the palate between the tastes. They were asked to place their favorite at the top of the mat. Liam saw it, snatched it, shot it, coughed his face red. He took a sip of the water. Then he snatched Jim's shot and did the exact same thing occurred. He later fell asleep standing up at the parking lot. My sister's family did a lot together. They loved small town festivals, national parks, camping, reading, cooking. When the boys were younger, they were very close. Jim taught the boys to shoot, camp, ride go-karts and ATVs, how to ride their bikes. I'll leave him to tell the rest of the stories. My sister made tons of Christmas candy every year. It was a tradition that began when she was expecting Liam, and thumbing through Good Housekeeping. Liam was her help from the time he could walk. He was amazing as a toddler at stealing the maraschino cherries before she could coat them in the fondant. He'd also fill both cheeks with mini marshmallows while they made Rocky Road candy. In the autumn, they'd pick apples and can applesauce, pie filling. They'd gather pumpkins for the pumpkin pie filling. For years now, they made many things from scratch. Liam also learned to sew. He wanted to do everything for himself. In high school, Liam began his culinary adventure in Amarillo High School and AM Tech. Jim and Amy bought him a goose to make for the culinary final. He aced it. Though his culinary teacher, Miss Open House, and the man responsible for the food today. After graduation, Liam was hired to do salad and desserts. He was always talking about the things he wanted to learn. We've supplied keepsakes for you all, for remembering him. He was really interested in florography, which is the meaning of specific flowers from the Victorian era. We've created posies for all of you, and the flower meanings are inside the program. There are also floral keychains. Liam loved all the different types of food as well. Obviously, his favorite was candies. Candies were treacle toffee and lemon sherbets. The toffee tastes like molasses and very sticky on your teeth, so don't eat it if you have loose teeth. He first heard of them as a toddler, and when Carrie Ann read Harry Potter to both boys, the second candy is a lemon sherbet. They look like lemon drops, but they have a fizzy center inside. Don't bite them. We've reached the point in Liam's life that most of you know him. In a moment, I'll invite you all to come and share your Liam stories. Carrie Ann may write his stories at some point, so please fill in the memory cards for her. And please sign the guest books as well, so both Liam's parents have one. Everyone here loves how giving Liam was. I'd be surprised to hear that anyone here would experience something other than acts of kindness. He fed the homeless, tried to help raise money for younger girls with cancer, and many other things. To honor Liam, we ask you all to love life like Liam. Give that extra $1, open the door for a stranger, and do the kind things. So now I'm going to open it up to you. Are we good on the video? No. All right, so I have one story to read from a teacher. Is that right? And then we'll open the mic up to you, and then please feel free to eat as much as you can. In 1986, I was a young mother attending a Bible study group which challenged me to memorize the scripture. The week of October 30th, my memory verse was Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding. In all the ways, acknowledge him, and he will set your pathway straight. Little did I know that verse would become my life verse and strengthen me in my darkest days. That week, I went into premature labor and gave birth to a stillborn son. As a parent, I know that there is no greater pain than losing a child. There is no understanding why. But I also know that there is hope and light and peace that passing all understanding. I have seen what Satan intended for evil. God can use us for good. This is my prayer for all of you here today. As you grieve, take the pain and allow God to use it for his glory. It was through the loss of my child that God directed my future path to become a teacher, and that path led me to meet Liam his freshman year at Amarillo High School. Liam was a young man one could never forget. Even if it was a brief moment in passing, he was curious, he was witty, he was quirky, he was thoughtful. Liam asked more questions than any child I had ever taught. Day after day, he asked questions I had never thought of. As we settled into our first year together, I quickly realized I had a lot to learn from this young man. He thought outside the box. He was non-judgmental. Oh, he had a strong opinion he would openly share, but he accepted others for who they were, and he had a politeness that was desperately missing in today's youth. He wasn't afraid to try new things. His sophomore year, I gave my students a project for the semester exam before Christmas. They could cook any recipe they wanted, but would have to provide their own ingredients and create a timeline to produce the dish during our exam schedule. Liam jokingly asked me if he could cook a Christmas goose. I told him he could. If he could find a goose, he could certainly cook it for the exam. I should have known he was serious. The week before Christmas break, he showed up in my classroom at 7:30 a.m. bearing a frozen Christmas goose. While the other students took the easy way out with baked goods and quick breads, Liam spent hours stuffing, seasoning, and roasting his goose. The smell down the hall at AHS were warm and inviting, but the look of accomplishment on his face while it sizzled in the oven was priceless. It truly is a Christmas memory I'll never forget. His junior year, we moved to AM Tech Career Academy, and Liam was so proud to wear his chef jacket and uniform on a daily basis. His level of professionalism and customer service grew. He loved learning the tricks of the trade and becoming a barista. Coffee was Liam's friend. While he hyped most students up, it calmed Liam. He openly shared with me his struggles of having ADHD, and he later became my consultant on medication on the side effects when my 6-year-old granddaughter was diagnosed with the disease. Once again, the students were teaching their teacher. My most heartfelt memory of Liam was when I asked him to write a recommendation letter for an ACID teacher of the year. I knew Liam was a strong writer, but his honesty and descriptive analysis of my teaching abilities brought instant tears to my eyes. Without a doubt, I know his letter played a part in winning that award. It also gave me insight from a student perspective on how to help my students excel. I'm so very thankful for his creative input. My mission as a teacher has always been to provide positive influence to help my students succeed beyond high school. I know connecting Liam with Mac Joe's opened new and exciting culinary experiences and friendships to his life. Each time I would visit there, he would poke his head out through the window and say hello. I'm definitely going to miss him. Like you, I've had 1,000 questions I'd like to ask him since I heard he was gone, and I have 0 answers. I desperately want one more conversation with him. But once again, I'm trusting in our Heavenly Father with all of my heart. Leaning not on my own understanding, I'm praying you will do the same. Liam would want that. He would want something good to come from this. He would want to see more kindness and accepting in our industry, more teaching and less bullying. To quote Chef Charles Carroll, we should strive to be ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. When I think of Liam, that's exactly what I think of. His love, he loves serving others. Let's leave here and take what Satan intended for evil and allow God to make it beautiful in his honor. Thank you. We'll go ahead and open up for any Liam stories.
Hello, my name is Michael. I was Liam's friend at the airsoft field that he came to all the time. he left quite the impression on all of us. He was probably one of the most kind people I've ever met in my life. Very intentional, very direct. And while I'm not a religious man, there's something that's been on my mind since this morning when I had to face the idea of coming here. And it's a quote by Khalil Gibran. It says that pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding, and that it is the bitter potion in which the physician inside of you uses to heal your sick self. And therefore you must trust the physician and take in his remedy in silence and tranquility. The last time I saw Liam, he brought these plastic swords to the vault, and he was teaching all of us fencing techniques. And I remember he and I were sparring, and he struck me pretty good across the face, unintentionally, but we were going pretty hard at each other, and the only thing he could think about is that I was okay. I was significantly bigger than Liam, and I was worried that I was gonna hurt him. And in that moment, he dropped his sword, and he rushed me and made sure that I was okay. And all I could do was laugh because I thought it was a great lick. He did a good job. I think that any of us here would give anything to talk to Liam again. And I think if there's one thing we should all learn from this and take from this, it's that you're never alone. You are never forgotten. And that if there's ever anything that feels like it's too much to bear, then you have to lean on the people around you in order to help bear it. I would have given anything to know that Liam hurt as deep as he did. And I would have done anything to change it, just as I feel any of us here would. And so today, what I'd like for us to take away is remembering what it means to be part of something more. And to remember that no matter what happens in this life, you can depend on the people around you. It's okay to be vulnerable. And it's okay to ask for help. I know we all love Liam a lot. And I'm really glad that we all came out here today. So, thank you for his sake.
Hi, my name is Roland. I was a coworker of Liam there at Mac Joe's. I was gonna wear something a little nicer today. Then I saw this cat shirt in my closet. Then I remembered that Liam loved cats, so I figured I'll wear something in honor of him. And I started there at Mac Joe's as a dishwasher, and I worked my way up, and the one person that was there to help me put away dishes, to help me plate food, to just to talk, just to loosen up, make you feel good, is Liam. He sorry, I don't do good with standing in front of crowds, but I remember talking to Liam about this too. He goes, well, you know, sir, you gotta face your fears one day. And, you know, I try to live a little bit through Liam now every day. I don't try to judge everyone, because anytime we'd get a new employee or there'd be a funny looking customer, there'd be Liam right there to say, hey buddy, it's not good to judge, you know. People have their own quirks, people are different, just like you are too, bro. And for as little as I am, as short as I am, I called him Little Liam, even though he was my little big brother, you know, tall kid. And we're gonna miss him there at Mac Joe's, you know, his talking about fencing, talking about swords, little history nerd can tell you about anything and everything, all in one sentence. But, just like everyone here, I would love to just have one more conversation with him. And don't be afraid to get up here and tell y'all stories. I know y'all got them. Everyone's got a Liam story. Everyone's got a story of Liam. That's our boy. And Liam, we love you. Until next time, brother, say hi to the family for me, please.
Hello, my name is Paul. I was Liam's grandfather for a very short time, but he was a great young man. I loved him like my own because he was my own. My family is here and all y'all are here. So I know he was loved by many, not just us. And I just want to tell you all thank you for coming in. We got to grieve, and everybody grieves in their own ways, so I just ask that you do it, and then remember the good times. Don't forget all the fun, all the great things, and just let all that go. I guess that's all I can say. Thank you.
Well, it's good to see everybody. My name is Jake, and I was a co-worker of Liam's in Macaroni Joe's, and just it's one thing I'm sure a lot of us we're all in shock still, and that's one of those things. Maybe one day when we meet our maker, we'll get some answers as to things we don't know. But Liam, again, for the first time he came in, as a high school student to help out with cares, just instantly, that man had a presence about him. Just very bright, very high frequency, a very bright spirit, you know. It's just amazing you meet people like that. And that man was, whatever it is, that man had it. You know, he was one of those people you never forget, Liam. He's like a little brother to a lot of us. You know, all of us at Mac Joe's, we looked upon him when he came in there, again, after high school to get hired immediately. Those of us that remember, like, yes, I remember him, bring him aboard. Good, unmatched enthusiasm, always wanted to learn. And again, for a lot of us, he would be someone that would humble you and speak truth to you. You know, this man, you know, he's very, very brave individual. He would have so many stories. I worked side by side with him, back to back, and many, many evenings. You know, some stories I can tell, some stories I can't. But just all around, that's a person I'll never forget. And I'll always consider him a little brother. So again, thank you for everybody too for being here, and again, everybody remember those good times. You never know when it's our day, so cherish your loved ones, those that are around you every day. Again, I will always have good fond memories of Liam to look to, and we'll keep with him through that example, and just try every day to see the best in life, and always reach out to someone if there's anything that's getting at you. Don't forget there's someone around you that loves you. Reach out. Don't be afraid, because you never know what this life holds. But anyways, I just had to get up here. My friend talking to me about Warhammer and everything under the sun, and he would tell me, okay, we're gonna get a Warhammer. I'd never heard about Warhammer, so you know, he was gonna educate me. And he would tell me, okay, I'm gonna bring you a book, but before I get into this section, I'm gonna have to break you down with the history of 10 back sections. And so that was a great thing, and we'd sit there from beginning the shift to end the shift, in between. Take a breath, Liam. Okay, let me get to the next story. And it's just so many good times like that, but I'll never forget that young man. Thank you all again for giving me time to just remember our friend. We love you, Liam, and you'll always be with us, and one day we'll see you again. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Salika Jones Garcia. I don't have a Liam story. I've never had the honor of meeting him. But I've known Carrie since we were teenagers in Spokane, Washington. And my heart breaks for you. But I wanted to tell a Carrie story. Gosh, it was 98, 99, I have no idea. But Mama Pam and Dad had gone on vacation. And we decided to have a party. And there were some drinks involved. I do recall there were some very large steins of rum and coke. And the hot tub was involved. So, Mama Pam, if you and Dad ever wonder how the hot tub lid got broken, that was us. That was me, my dear sweet friend Carrie, and our sweet friend Tiffany, who also is no longer with us. I know every kind word said about Liam today, every kind, amazing thing he ever did in his life, he got from you, Carrie. You are the most wonderful, amazing person, an amazing mother. And I am so sorry. And I'm so glad that I could be here today. Because you are one of my oldest friends that I have in this world. I watched Liam grow up through pictures and videos, and he had the most amazing laugh as a child. And I just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you all so much for being here to support him and his mom, his dad, his brothers, his grandmother, everybody. Just know that he's up there now with Dad. Okay? Dad's taking care of him, making sure he's all right, and checking in on you. I love you so much. And you're only 2 hours away. She came to visit me in Portales in 2019, surprised the heck out of me. And we had a great day. It was an amazing day. Just know that you'll have amazing days again, okay? We're all here for you. And Liam, and I love you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brian. Sorry. do have a funny story a little bit with him. Well, I was at the ball one time because, well, we were just hanging out, chilling. We were playing the Among Us game mode. It's the most funniest thing because literally before the round started, he attacked me because he was he was like the enemy. And then he was like, wait, didn't he already said start already? I was like, nope, he didn't. Because like literally I was paying attention to detail. Well, that day he was like, hey look, I'll do some business with you. You don't tell him I'm an imposter, and then you live. And I was like, all right, you got it. So we worked together. Well, that day he said, oh guys, come over here, let's make a barrel fort, come on. I should have went there and just gotten killed by him. But at the same time, I just know it was a fun day. Like we just keep on going. The next story, he actually bought my Assassin's Hidden Blade from Assassin's Creed. Of course, it's a game that me and him talked about, but it's here and there. That Hidden Blade changed everything in me because he swung me for a 20 whenever I was charging him 11. The same pistol he showed me, I bought from him like last minute, but I had to grind my money up so I can get my money up. It's a little bit hard, but I'm hoping that we get to see him again. I'm hoping that we get to talk to him. Sometimes, you just gotta keep on living. With one person out of your life, just keep on pushing. That's why I told him. I've been going through a lot, and I just keep my head forward. We both have to keep our heads forward, I told him after graduation. The last time I saw him at the vault, it was kind of sort of fun, but we had a sword fight, technically. I was using my short katana, he was using his long sword. Of course he beat me, but at the same time, I let him beat me. I wanted him to have fun. I told him, it's not about winning, it's just about learning. It's about going through the motions. So we did. Let him attack me, let him go for the kill. Might as well. I know everybody's here today and everybody misses Liam. So, we have to keep on pushing.
My name's Jake. Just like Capture Guy, I'm really good in front of other people. I have a lot of different stories I could probably share with you about Liam. And the main thing that I really want to say is every time I was around Liam, I learned something from him. And that's pretty rare in my generation. I have a lot of people in my generation you don't learn things from. You don't get better from being around him. But one thing that I can definitely say about Liam is every single interaction that I've ever had with Liam, I learned something from him. I genuinely think that having Liam in my life made me a better person, especially in high school. You know, we're all learning and trying to figure out who we're going to be in high school. We're trying to figure out what we want to do. And I mean, I genuinely think that if I didn't have Liam in my life at that point in time, I wouldn't be as good of a person as I am now. I don't know really how to share the stories that I have with Liam, but I just want to share that I learned things from Liam. And I'm sure Liam learned things from us, but he was genuinely a caring person. He was genuinely a kind person. And I think that's a rarity, at least in my generation, but I think that's a rarity in people. And I'm glad that I got to experience it. I'm glad that all my friends over there got to experience it. Liam was a great person, and he wanted you to feel great. And I think that's important to remember about Liam. That's what I wanted to say, so thank you.
Kiara, I'm Liam's cousin. Liam was very, very strong. I've known Liam all my life, and I've lived with him for almost half my life. He was very strong, very, very caring. No matter anything I ever went through, he was always there for me and everyone around him. Specifically, my grandfather passed away. I felt like Liam was there for everyone, especially me. Liam will always be around. We'll always feel him, and I'm sure we'll see him in different ways. I have lots of memories of Liam. Specifically, we would play tennis together. It wasn't his thing, but he did because it was mine. And he wanted to help out, I guess. To this day, I still have pain in my left foot because I broke it in 3 places when I was playing tennis with him. So maybe I remember him in different ways than other people. I still have those tennis rackets in my car with the same 3 tennis balls. They live in my trunk, as well as, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas prior, Liam gifted me a taser. I don't know if he gifted it to me for my safety, because it hasn't been used for my safety. My taser is my friend, and it also lives in my car. And it has been used on more than one person. So, it's right next to me, and I always think of Liam. This loss is really heavy on my heart. And I don't think anyone expected it. But I will always cherish Liam and Chandler, Carrie Ann, and my grandma. I will always see everything in a different light now, I think. Liam taught me more things than one. He taught me how to live my life with no care in the world, because that's what Liam did. Liam cared so much about others, but did what he wanted when it felt right. I will forever cherish my memories with him and remember him forever.
If Liam ever talked Warhammer to you, ever, D&D, Warhammer, any of that, that's my fault. I got him into it, and we played Warhammer as much as we could, always. And he ended up kind of making a deal of, he buys me miniatures and I would paint his, and I always tried to paint his as much as I could, but we also played as much as we could. And I'll be honest, I beat him the first couple of times we played, and then it got concerning when he started beating me. But it was always, and every now and again, he would always figure a rule that I had messed up forever, or something like that. He was very attentive, I think. That's a word for it. But if I had messed something up or anything, he'd call me on it. And it wasn't bad, but I enjoyed it when something like that went wrong. But out of everything, from the memories I have with him of Warhammer, D&D and all that, he kept telling me to continue painting them, and that, surprisingly, my best miniatures I've ever painted were always his. I never put
full effort into mine necessarily, but I would make sure I always put 110% for him, always. And he was always a gentleman. It was always, best way I could put it was if chivalry in the modern day was a person, it was him, no doubt about it. I'm gonna miss him forever.
God bless.
Hello, my name is Kurt, and I used to be in one of Liam's best friends for my today. He used to be mine. And I have many, many stories I can share. But the one that always comes to my mind when I think of Liam is the time we started getting into airsoft. He's talked to you about airsoft and vault. That's probably me. There was a time when we showed up and he saw a giant minigun and two different kinds of airsoft guns that were used for recreation. And they're about like paintball. And he thought to himself, the second he saw it, I want to get shot by it. And of course, me and everyone else that was with him looked at him kind of weird and just asked him why. And he couldn't really tell you. He just wanted to get shot by it. And so he did. Three times in a row, he would ask the guy working the stand if he can get shot by a minigun, or the recreation pistol, or the recreation airsoft rifle. And each time, you can tell that he got hurt, but he sure did bounce back from it faster than anyone I know can bounce back from anything. If there's anybody I know who's brave, it's Liam. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sina. Liam was my stepbrother. Our parents got married when we were about 15, and I always felt like he and I tended to flock together at family gatherings, and I think it was just because we were most similar in age, but even though we didn't grow up together, and even though we didn't have the same family, he never treated me and my sister any different from his own family. He always made sure that we were involved, and he always made us feel loved. Liam was a very incredible storyteller, and I'm sure all of you are aware of the fact that that man can talk. I remember Liam, when we were in high school, really wanted to write books. He really wanted to write stories. And he and I planned at one point to write a graphic novel together where he would write the story and I would illustrate. It was really cool. He had everything planned out so meticulously, like down to the weather of the world. And I didn't really care. I was just like, let me draw. But he was very, very talented and very gifted. And, you know, again, we didn't grow up together, but he always felt like a real brother to me, and I'm gonna miss him. All of us will.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie. I was a co-worker with Liam, at Mac Joe's. Forgive me if I cry, but Liam meant a lot more than I put on to me. He was older than me, but I also thought of him as a little brother and also a big brother at the same time. Because whenever I started helping out with caterings at Mac Joe's, I remember we did the Best of Amarillo, and he came up to me telling me how scared he was to serve because he didn't know how to hold the plates. And I was like, no, Liam, I was like, you'll be fine. I was like, I'd show him how to do it from what I knew at the time. And he ended up doing just fine. But you could tell he was scared, but it was nice that he looked up to me and he came and asked me to help him. Even though there were a lot of experienced servers that were at that catering. But in the kitchen, he always helped me with everything that I did. And whenever I first started working in the kitchen, he let me use his knife until I just got my own. And it meant a lot because, your knives, you don't want them to get damaged, and I wasn't really experienced much, and it meant a lot to me also that he let me use that knife. But anytime I ever came into work, he would, I swear I learned something new from that kid every day. And he would always use funny words whenever he talked to me, or just anything. He was Liam, you would come in, he would always be talking about Warhammer or Airsoft or something like that. And he taught me a lot on Warhammer. I also didn't know what that was at the time either. But I do miss Liam a lot. And he'll always stay in my mind. And we actually have a picture of him at Mac Joe's hanging above the salad station because that's where he always was. And every time I want salads, I can't help but think that I hate doing it because I wish he was here doing it for us. But, yeah. Thank you.
How's everyone doing today? My name is Brandon. I'm the general manager over at Legacy Airsoft. And my God, I could tell you so much stuff about Liam. Liam was one of the most amazing guys I have ever witnessed in that door. We have seen hundreds, thousands of people come through those doors over the years, and Liam is 100% one of the most memorable ones we've ever had. He became our family over there. He became a friend. Liam had this nickname over there called Squid. Because he was so slippery, so slimy, just quick on his feet. That kid would always go out there with swords over guns. It didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter what games we were running in there. He would hide, he would run at you out of the back of, you wouldn't even notice it. He would just hit you in the back of the sword, and the next thing you know, you're turning around looking at him, and he's already across the field and he's gone somewhere else. And he never got in trouble. In fact, it was pretty funny, because anytime that Liam would have some kind of issue, he would always come up to me just with the first words, "Mr. Brandon, sir, I seem to have a little bit of an issue going on right now." And he would always keep it the most respectful thing ever. I mean, he could talk crap without saying a single word negative about someone. He was very deeply loved over there. And so what we're working on right now is we're making a memorial for him that's going to stay in that building forever. We want his memory to live onwards. Everyone loved him. He was trying to get a sword fighting club up there. He got kids, 10, 11, some adults in their 30s, some in their 40s, just everyone to congregate around Liam whenever he would talk about sword fighting and all of these different things he learned from these books. Man, he loved his books. We're gonna miss him deeply, but he was very well loved.
Good afternoon, I'm Tim, and I live next door. I've kind of got a different perspective. I don't have any Warhammer stories. I do know that first time when they moved in, all I saw was Oklahoma license plates. It was like, oh Lord, what's gonna happen here? But no, they are awesome people. Carrie Ann, Pam, Dan, all of them are great. We love them. And Liam was always willing to come out and help, carry groceries. Anything that he saw you doing something, hey, can I help you, sir? Can I help you, sir? And it was always, sir. That's, you don't see that from most kids today, so I appreciate that. But he always had to have permission from Grandpa Dan before he could do anything. And I'm not the tallest guy in the world, and I'm working on my car one day and kind of got my hand jammed in there. And it's like, hey, Liam, can you come help me push this thing out? I'll be right back. I got to ask my granddad. And so he takes off, and I'm just like, oh, Lord, please hurry, please hurry, please hurry. Because my hand is really stuck, and I can't reach this because, I'm already on my tiptoes as it is. So this is a good kid. All these kids are good. And I have to get over them. I want to come this way because I know that Grandpa Dan made a lot of y'all work. He made those kids work. And I can remember Kiara and Liam tearing it up. And I can remember Chandler hiding. I can remember your big sister trying to work doing this. And Grandpa Dan hollering from the garage, get to work, get to work. But man, you can't see all these kids back here. This is amazing. You guys are amazing. Just the love that I can feel from you guys, from everybody in this room. He has touched so many lives. He's touched ours. And he's going to be deeply missed, sorely missed. We love you, Pam, Kara, all of you, man. We love you. We're thankful that we got to share time. And just keep on keeping on, okay? We love you all. Thank you.
Where to start, guys? I'm Daniel. I am the other cousin of Liam. I'm Kara's brother, but I'm also known as Grandpa Dan's little mini. I am the third. I didn't know Liam much, so I don't really have my own Liam stories. However, I know the development of Liam as it goes. When I wasn't there, Liam was there. But when Liam was not there, I was there. And it's weird to me, in the fact that Liam and I were born exactly, I talk loud, I don't mean this. Liam and I were born exactly 6 months apart. I was your 23rd. I just had my 21st. I just had my 21st birthday this past Monday. Really hoping that I would be able to experience that with all my family members. He was the exact last one. And, hearing over the years that what he was like, it was really different because he's the straight opposite of him. What I brought, he brought something else, but he could bring the exact same thing towards other people, When he was younger, I had the absolute pleasure to help Grandpa Dan, Pawpaw, that's what I call him. I had the absolute pleasure to help Pawpaw build stuff for Liam and Chandler, and I don't know if you knew that at all. the trains, the RC cars. I don't remember that, but as I go through, I continually remember this stuff. And it's amazing that I was able to help Liam without him knowing, but also without my own knowledge until just now. All the games he inherited, yeah, it was also for me. All that other stuff I could have done that he wouldn't have known, you know. How many times did I meet him? Like twice. It's weird because I've only seen him twice, you know, except when I wasn't there, he was there, you know. I grew up without my sisters for more than 3/4 of my life. But like I said, I'm here with my sisters now, but when I was not there, Liam was for my sisters, and I'm deeply grateful for him for being able to do that. And as, you know, I was a troublemaker, he was not, he was the peacemaker. And it's just amazing to see what he was able to do for everybody here as well as for myself, even though I wasn't there physically. So, thank you guys.
I just want to speak on behalf of the family that we're so grateful for all of you for coming today. And we're going to get a video going that we worked on. But please go ahead and start eating, and we'll play the video as it's ready to go. Thanks, guys.
Devin, he was up there talking to, he did the other side of it. He did Chandler and Jennifer. Whatever, Henry Cavill's one that he
Every chain that kept the slaves and throw 'em off. We're Santa Claus smells. So what's the next one? Santa Mobile? Okay, we'll move that away. Who? He's got a ranger named Benson. Does he know he has a ranger named Benson? Yeah. Right. Okay. You want to say Merry Christmas, anybody? You want to say Merry Christmas, anybody? You don't have to sing it. You don't have to sing it. No, you say it. Think about it. Silly boy.
Jeremy, what time you need Diana?
You can manage any kind of work, from project intake, community management, to strategic planning, or anything else your team works on. Asana works for you. Try for free today at asana.com.
Today we live, today we breathe, today we know that we are strong when we are weak. Today we trust, we overcome, take every chain that kept us slaves and throw them off. We're not waiting for permission, we defy every
wanna sing it again? You gonna dance? You did it before. You know any other Christmas songs? Santa's wants to know. Well, what's the next one? Santa Mobile? Okay, well, who got away? Who? He's got a reindeer named Benson. Does he know he has a reindeer named Benson? Right. Okay. You want to sing Merry Christmas, Henry? You want to say Merry Christmas to anybody? You don't have to sing it. No, okay.